Are you tired of constantly battling weeds in your garden only to throw them away as waste? What if I told you those so-called weeds could actually be the secret ingredient to your most vibrant garden yet? Get ready to transform your garden's biggest nuisance into its greatest asset, saving you money and boosting your soil health in ways that will fundamentally change how you view every plant in your garden. Every single time you pull a weed from your garden and toss it into the trash or the municipal green waste bin, you're literally throwing away nutrients that your soil worked hard to create. Think about what weeds actually are for a moment. They're plants that have successfully extracted minerals, nitrogen and trace elements from your soil, concentrated those nutrients in their tissues, and grown vigorously without any help from you. These are plants that have effectively mined your subsoil for nutrients that your cultivated crops can't always reach, bringing those minerals up to the surface through their root systems. When you discard them, you're exporting fertility from your garden ecosystem, creating a one-way flow that eventually depletes your soil and forces you to rely on purchased fertilizers to compensate for those lost nutrients. The paradigm shift I'm asking you to make is profound but simple. Weeds aren't waste. They're a crop you didn't plant. They represent free biomass, free nutrients, and free organic matter that can be immediately recycled back into your garden system. Some of the most persistent weeds in your garden are actually the most valuable from a soil fertility perspective. Dandelions, for instance, are dynamic accumulators with deep taproots that pull calcium, potassium, and iron from depths that most vegetable roots never reach. Nettles are absolutely loaded with nitrogen, iron, and magnesium. Chickweed, often considered one of the most annoying early spring weeds, is rich in copper and phosphorus. These plants are essentially creating a free fertility program for you if you'll just learn to harness them. Understanding the specific nutritional profiles of common garden weeds transforms them from anonymous nuisances into recognizable allies with distinct benefits. Dandelions deserve special attention because they're nearly universal and remarkably nutrient-dense. Their deep taproot can extend 2 feet or more into the soil, accessing mineral deposits that remain completely out of reach for shallow-rooted crops. When you pull a dandelion and incorporate it back into your soil system, you're essentially getting a custom mineral supplement formulated specifically for your soil's deficiencies, because the dandelion naturally concentrated whatever minerals were available at depth. The leaves contain significant amounts of potassium, which is crucial for fruit development and disease resistance in your cultivated plants. Stinging nettles, if you have them, represent an even more concentrated nutrient source. These plants are so rich in nitrogen that they've been used historically as livestock feed and human food in times of scarcity. When you handle nettles for garden use, wear gloves initially. Though wilted nettles lose their sting, you're working with material that contains nitrogen levels comparable to some commercial fertilizers, along with impressive amounts of iron that can help prevent chlorosis in your plants. The combination of nitrogen and micronutrients makes nettle material especially valuable for heavy feeders like tomatoes, peppers, and brassicas. Even weeds that seem less impressive have hidden talents. Lamb's quarters, which appears in almost every garden by midsummer, accumulates remarkable amounts of calcium and protein in its leaves. Plantain, with its tough, fibrous leaves, is excellent for adding structure to compost while contributing trace minerals. Purslane, often cursed by gardeners for its ability to regrow from stem fragments, is not only edible and delicious but also contributes omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants to soil when decomposed, supporting beneficial soil microorganisms that thrive on diverse organic compounds. The key insight is that weed diversity translates directly to nutrient diversity, giving you a more complete and balanced soil amendment than any single-source material could provide. The simplest and perhaps most elegant method for utilizing weed nutrients is the chop and drop technique, which requires absolutely zero equipment beyond what you already use for weeding. This approach works beautifully in established garden beds where you have cultivated plants already growing. When you pull or cut weeds, instead of removing them from the site, simply chop them into smaller pieces using a hoe, machete, or even garden shears, then lay those pieces directly on the soil surface around your plants. The chopping increases surface area, which accelerates decomposition, and within days you'll notice the material beginning to wilt and break down. Within a week or two, it becomes unrecognizable as earthworms, and soil microorganisms process it into the soil surface. This method delivers multiple benefits simultaneously. The weed material acts as an instant mulch layer, reducing soil moisture evaporation and moderating soil temperature fluctuations. As decomposition proceeds, nutrients are released gradually right where your plants need them, creating a slow-release fertilizer effect without any processing time. One critical caveat: only use this method with weeds that haven't yet set seed, and avoid weeds with vigorous root systems that might regenerate from fragments. Young weeds, pulled before flowering, are ideal candidates, ready to stop throwing away your garden's hidden wealth and start building the most fertile, self-sustaining garden you've ever grown. Share your favorite weed-to-gold techniques and the surprising results you've seen in the comments below. I want to hear which weeds you've discovered are secret superstars in your region. Subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for more practical strategies that transform waste into resources, build genuine soil health, and help you create gardens that become more productive and resilient with every passing season. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to see weeds in a completely new light and start mining the gold that's been growing in their gardens all along.